Yep, hi, my name's Joe, and I was actually assaulted, and look at that. Broken ankle and a broken foot, and look at that. Right near the pizza place, in front of the camera. And the police haven't charged me with assault, and I've googled it several times, and look at that. That's where I fell. I was walking towards the shops, and he was about there. Started coming at me, and he had a pit bull. And I'm thinking, I don't know you from... Oh, actually, he threatened to stab me in the gut once before. Punched an 80-year-old friend of mine in a walking frame and threatens everyone. He's a young, tall guy that lives in the next street in Sutter Street. And I was walking the shops one day, and I heard, I'm going to effing stab you in the gut if you don't move, you effing so-and-so. I've called the police several times, and they haven't arrested him for harassment, nothing. So anyway, after one of my friends telling me he had actually gone up to her in a walking frame when she was walking past his house, threatened to get the people on her to attack her, and then punched her in the stomach. So he's walking towards me with the pit bull, right about from there, coming down from Edgeware Shops, right? And there's the camera there, and there's the still thing there, and I was about there. And I said, hang on, I said, the pit bull was friendly wagging its tail. I said, I'm not going to pat a strange pit bull. I said, pull your dog back. You got no right to let your dog near me, because he just didn't care. At all, was about 22 with black curly hair, lives in Sutter Street up the top on the right side of it, going towards Killingworth. Not the first one on the corner, not the second, but the third, with a whole lot of overgrown grass, and he does pot, and he's on the dole, and his mother looks like she doesn't even brush her hair. So, yeah, and you can smell pot when you walk past. But that doesn't excuse him assaulting me. If it was a man, he would have copped a beating of his life. And he punched an 80-year-old in the gut in a walking frame. She's crippled over, she can't walk. And he punched her in the gut and threatened to, for no reason, just went up there and attacked her. He's gone at many of the neighbours, and the police just won't do anything. I had one cop saying the poor guy, he's got mental problems. So it's okay to threaten to stab someone. It's okay to skitch your pit bull on them as long as you've got mental problems, because he does drugs. So, in other words, it's saying to everyone out there that if you do pot, you're allowed to sexually abuse, kill, do whatever you want. According to Toronto Police Force, haven't even arrested him, and there's a camera there, right? And there's my foot there. Been a whole year, it's still in that much pain. I can't. It's worn away, and I went to the JHH, and they wouldn't even operate on me. So, and I can die during surgery. They're going to have to break it open and operate again. They didn't even operate on me, so I had to go fund myself. That's the grate I fell on. He was up here, and then the pit bull was on a short lead at that time, I assume. And then all of a sudden, he thought, I started moving backwards, going, don't allow your dog near me. I don't know him. I don't trust strange dogs, and all I ever, especially a pit bull. They can jump at you, and that's it, puncture a hole in a main vein, you're dead within a few seconds, which has happened many a times with a lot of people with those dogs. So anyway, my mum was beaten really badly, and she was in agony by someone's friendly dog. He didn't tell her that he bites. So eventually the dog was put down. He allowed everyone to pat it and didn't tell them it bit 2 women, and my mum was in so much pain. That's the way people are these days. They just don't care. If you don't have a penis and you're not 6 foot tall, they'll treat you like dirt. And this is what happens when you don't hit a kid. They turn out a woman basher. And it's not only me, they actually egg houses and everything where I live, because the parents don't care. They actually yell and scream at you if you say anything to their brats. Nearly full-grown adults, taller than me, high schoolers can abuse you, and their parents yell. And I had one guy across the street threaten to beat me up because he had 6 of his teenagers out the front calling me S and this and that and laughing hysterically. And when I said something to them, he drove over in his 4-wheel drive and threatened to run me over and kill me, and I recorded the whole thing for a whole hour. Then the police had to record it, and then they still there abusing me, calling me a pedophile, calling me beep and everything. They keep on throwing Maccas on my front yard. The police won't take the fingerprints. They're throwing trolleys and everything, and they've done it to a lot of, only seems to be short people and single women. They've done it a lot around Edgeworth area. They've abused that many. That's the generation of the sport brats, and that's why the healthcare is bad too. because they're brats running the healthcare system. When you have a brat running Parliament House or running the world, there's nothing good comes out of it, just death. So there he is, he's like walking there, and then all of a sudden he releases the pit bull on me, the full lead, which is about 3 litres long, and then I fell back trying to get away from the pit bull, smashed my ankle, screaming in agony. It swelled up half the size of my head, and he just walked down there and walked around there smiling his head off. Then it's on camera, and the police won't even charge him with assault. And I googled that if anyone ever causes you any harm, that by law they've still got a jail. It's a prison term, because he uses people to attack me, or tried to get it, but thank goodness it was friendly. If it wasn't, I would have had my leg, I would have been smashed to pieces foot-wise, and I would have had my throat ripped out, and not one person that saw it, these putrid humans here, did anything. They actually saw what happened. Not one so did anything. That's how evil society is. They actually watch a female falling, cracking and screaming in agony, and a young guy assaulting me, did nothing. But yet, if it was a man, if it was me assaulting a man, I'm sure I would have had about 20 of them punching me up. Because I was down at Macca's, and I had this on video camera, but someone nicked my phone. I actually was called a SLUT by the young blonde-headed one that does the coffee at the place down there, and they told me to get out. I said, how dare you? I nearly paid $10 for an almond coffee, and in return I got called a slut. Instead of thank you ma'am, it was, oh, you effing slut. So anyway, I had a go at it, which I have the right to do. I have the right to, according to the law, you can slap someone that calls you a name because they're trying to egg you on for a punch-up. And if you hit them physically, it's not your fault, because they're the ones that caused it. They wanted a physical fight because they would never have abused a man, knowing that a man could actually hurt when he hits. It's only women, this generation, are that gutless, that the men and the girls and the teenagers will pick on a female and not the same sex because they're gutless. So anyway, yep, here's my bus. I gotta go now.